Hey guys, this is Kim Allen. Just thought I would create a little video for all of my fellow Jeep friends. Thanks for watching. Video about our radios. I know a lot of you have been getting these radios and using them in the club on off-roading trips, parades, and so forth, even around your house, and that's great. I really encourage you to upgrade your communication system. A lot of you have bought this UV5R radio. It's a great radio. My particular radio here, I have an extended battery, which any of you can get. You don't really need it though. It's just great if you want some extra communication time. If you're going to be on a long trip, this will just get you a little bit more talk time. The standard battery will really run you for a couple days for the type of communicating that we do. One of the benefits of the extended battery is that it does come with a port that you can actually plug in and charge with a USB cord. It's a special cord though, but it will allow you to charge it with a cigarette lighter adapter or a USB port in your Jeep. So kind of handy if you just want to, keep a radio permanently in your Jeep and keep it charged up. So that might be an option that you want to consider. I believe these batteries might be, I don't know, around $10 to $13 somewhere in there. I'm a ham radio operator. So I do a lot with radio communication, and I have a lot of different radios, and just enjoy that. You can kind of see some of my radio equipment here that I can talk to, well, other countries, quite frankly. But with these radios, we're not trying to do that. We're just trying to communicate within a, 3-5 mile radius or shorter. So today I wanted to kind of just go over a few things with you on how these radios work, some of the benefits of them. I know a lot of you have been asking for this, and so I thought I'd create this video that you can watch at your leisure. I'll start with the UV5R. The standard unit comes with the shorter antenna. All of the packages that I've put together for the club come with both antennas, the short one and the long one. The main difference between the short and the long is obviously you're going to get a little bit longer range with the longer antenna. The longer antenna can be a little cumbersome if you're trying to talk in your Jeep and it hits the ceiling. So some people like the shorter antenna, especially if you're just close to your group, right? Maybe you're in a parade or you're just wheeling with a small group and you don't need to go 5 miles away from each other. You can really do everything that you want with a short antenna. But I think it's handy to have this long one in your Jeep or on your radio. So almost all my radios, I use the long one. And they're very, very flexible. So even if I want to fold it down, it's not going to hurt that. It's a whip antenna, but it will whip you, and it hurts if you do that. But they're great for getting that extra distance. Okay. One of the radios I wanted to introduce you to, and a few of you in the club have this, just simply really by coincidence, because when I get these radios, I buy them in bulk, typically being shipped in from China, and my goal is to keep these radios, whatever model it may be, this one or others, to that $25 price range that includes the extended whip antenna. That can be challenging. In fact, I'll be honest with you, lately it's really been hard to get these radios in at that price. I have been able to secure a few of these. The UV5R, I've gotten a few extras of those, but not many. The prices kind of fluctuate depending on demand and some of the changes that are happening in these radios. Here in the United States, the government's really trying to regulate some of the features and capabilities that these models have. For those of you who have them, they're not going to take them away from you. And let's face it, the radio police is not really out there. I mean, there are radio police, believe it or not, but and you could get in trouble by using these inappropriately. But if you stick to the program that we have on here in the GCC frequencies, you're going to be A-OK. Just so you kind of understand some of the technical stuff, the difference between, like, say, a radio that you buy at Walmart in the bubble pack. Those are going to be family radio service, or what's called FRS, or GMRS. And those frequencies do not require a license. Some of the GMRS do, and certainly ham frequencies require a license. For example, my license, I'm KE8ITJ. You could actually search that online and find information about me. and my radio license that I have the ability to communicate on ham radio frequencies. You will notice in these radios that I have programmed um, some ham frequencies in there. Don't talk on them if you have if you don't have a license. Okay, if you have a license, go for it. In fact, they'll help you program even more. But why have I put those in there? I've put them in there because it does not require a license to listen. And so I have some of the main repeaters in certain areas where we typically go off-roading, just for emergency purposes. If you needed to monitor communication, let's say a bad storm came up, those are going to be in there that you could, in fact, listen, or in a dire strait situation, heaven forbid, communicate on them. Okay. I do encourage everybody, if you have any interest in radio communication, to go get your license. It's actually not very difficult to do. The Toledo Mobile Radio Association does classes regularly. In fact, they're getting ready to do some this month. It costs you about $27 for the book and $15 to take the test, and you're licensed for 10 years to talk on ham radio, and that's super fun, and it's a great way to communicate. And there's a lot of people that actually do it, believe it or not. So I encourage you, if you want to study that, to do that. It's great to have that license and that capability. But for what we're doing in the club, you're good to go without one, as long as you're using those GCC frequencies. So let me introduce you a little bit more to this model here, since I think some of you who don't have radios or are looking to add a radio to your arsenal. This model is the UV82. It's a little bit of an upgrade from the UV5R. It doesn't necessarily have more power as far as distance of communication, or what they call wattage, but it does have some other features, a little bit louder speaker on it, so that if you're out in a noisy environment, you might be able to hear it a little bit better than, say, the speaker on the UV5R. The way it's laid out is a little bit different. The keyboard is still at the bottom compared to the UV5R, but the screen is in the middle, speakers on the top. Again, these radios are manufactured by a Chinese company called Baofeng. They're very popular in the ham radio community. Although they're not considered a real high-end radio, you can buy this same type of a radio from another company like Icon, and you're going to drop probably $300 to $400 on a nice, capable radio. But these will actually communicate and do pretty much the exact same thing. And for a $25 package out the door price, it's pretty tough to beat that. And so that's why you're going to see some of these radios out there. This particular model, I've already taken the liberty to install the clip. All of these radios come with a belt clip, which is kind of handy. It can clip in your Jeep, on your belt, or wherever. It also comes with a lanyard, which is kind of handy if you're out off-roading and you want to make sure it doesn't drop or get stuck in the mud. Mike? Okay, you might have wanted to just have that around your wrist, and you can recover your radio that you've dropped in the mud hole. Not saying anybody has done that. But on here, I want to show you a few other features. I'll turn it on. So one of the things that you're going to notice is on your screen, there's actually two lines with a frequency on there. Now, I've given them names, and if you have the newest upgraded programming on there, I've actually taken the frequency numbers that are on the bottom part of your screen and just changed it so it would show the name. Since most of you out there don't really care about the radio frequency like what I would as a ham radio operator, so I just simply put the name at the bottom. If you want me to help you adjust that on your radio, it's really simple, easy to do. Just let me know. But anyway, these radios actually have two radios built into them. The top line shows you the first radio, and the second line shows you the second radio in there. On the UV5R model, like what most of you have, it also has two radios built in. In order to switch between the two radios, on the UV5R, there's a blue button that will move it from the top to the bottom, and you can talk on two different frequencies. On this model, there's simply two push-to-talk buttons, one on the top, one on the bottom. So let's say that, for example, I have this one here set to GCC 8 on the top. GCC 7 on the bottom, and you can adjust your frequencies by using the up down button and going to whichever channel you want. So right now I got you GCC 9 on the top, the GCC 7 on the bottom. Let's say we have two groups that are off-roading, and one of them is using GCC 9 and the other one's using GCC 7. Well, I can listen to both groups by having the frequencies on both of them. I can actually communicate with both groups. If I wanted to talk to GCC 9 on the top of my radio, I just simply push the push to talk button here at the top, and I'm communicating with GCC 9. If I want to instantly talk to GCC 7, the other group, I can just push my button on the bottom, the other second push to talk button. I'm instantly communicating with them. It's just really easy to switch between the two different groups or frequencies. Whereas on the UV5R, I simply have to push my blue button to get to the top or the bottom, and then push my push to talk button on the side. Hopefully that was easy to understand, and you can kind of figure that out. But these radios actually are a little bit simpler to use than what I think most people think they are, just simply because they haven't used them. I know you can get into the menu option. A lot of you have told me that your radio has switched and the name is no longer showing up, especially on the UV5R. If you push your band button, that's this black button over here, it will, or I'm sorry, not the band button, but the orange button. It's called VFO button. That will change that back for you. On this model, it's a little bit different and a little bit harder to actually mess that up. So this one is a little bit, I would say, more user-friendly as far as messing up your frequencies. A little bit sleeker design, in my opinion.